Hello, everybody, and welcome to Day Job. I am your host, Code Marvelous, and today I am joined by a longtime friend of the show, Russell. Welcome, Russell.
Yeah.
What are we going to be doing today, Russell?
So we were chatting and thought we'd play a Asmari deck, which is interesting because it's like the ultimate in basic corp decks. It has nothing but ice, agendas, and money. That's it. No tricks, just those three things. But it's been doing pretty well for me, so we thought we'd try that and play it.
So what do we think of this opener?
Because we want to protect HQ, and we can't do anything with the daily quest or Rashida because they'll just run it and trash it. So I'm not sure we keep that.
Okay, let's send it back.
Yeah, Mulligan. Yeah, it's way better.
All right. But yeah, I wanted to have you on. We're both working from home these days. All right. So what's the play here?
Well, we've got two choices, right? So we can, the border we want on the remote, we've got the hedge fund. So we either do hedge, slot, or we do slot, scarcity. And probably, I think hedge, slot, better as a first turn here.
Yeah, I mean, they're criminal, but they're Ken, so they're probably not as resource focused as other criminals would be.
Yeah, and next turn we'll see what we draw, but we kind of border on the remote, play scarcity.
Gang sign.
It's a gang sign deck. Okay.
I mean, so part of me wants to say that we should just put out the border control and the Bologna and start slow rolling it.
I would say I would put the border out and the Bologna. Put the border and the Bologna out, but I would play scarcity last click and then next turn double advance. Can't steal it now, even if they inside job it or something like that. So.
Yeah. And we know what their restricted card is. All right.
Yep.
Do we want to put this slot machine down on archives? Because eventually they're going to probably start playing things like Dirty Laundry and stuff.
No, I don't think you have to just yet. I mean, you could put slot on the remote and then take a couple of credits, but I mean...
So, do we advance here?
Can do. Yeah, sure. Because if they run the board, well, what have they got? Tycoon. It's going to cost them... so they can't steal slot on the remote and take a couple of credits, and then next turn we can think about that. That's fine. The Asmari negating the doof play is so good for us. I don't mind losing 3 credits. I don't really want to lose 5. But...
Makes sense.
But while we don't have agendas in hand, that's also something to think about with the gang sign. Is to if we don't draw an agenda, then advancing
definitely
the
want to try to push.
is good to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, hedge fund advanced twice.
My screen's frozen, so I can't see.
I just drew a hedge fund.
Yeah, but I that's interesting. I can't see the hedge fund that you've drawn, so it's still stuck with me on a booth, and then the Bologna in the remote. But if you drew the hedge fund, then hedge advance twice is good.
Wednesday, my stream was interrupted by Balder knocking over my morning tea all over myself.
Yeah. So I guess I could bring up the stream on another screen, and then I can see what you're seeing.
Or you could just spectate my hand. or spectate, and I'll tell you what's in my hand. Balder, come on.
Unless you want to, like, just reshare the screen with me, like stop sharing and then reshare again. That's better. Now I can see it.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and score this out while there's nothing for them to steal. Come on, we know you're about that event life. Just play an event. All right.
Yeah, the screen's still not sharing again, Dan. It's like internet problems or something. I can see it. That's good.
So we've got lots of money. I think. Do we just keep building out the remote?
Well, let's think about what at some stage they're going to do for you, right? So where are you vulnerable, right? So one of your options is something like Hedge HQ, and then
yeah.
So toll booth on HQ, and then Hedge IPO.
Yeah, I think that's the choice. We've certainly got a lot of money. Yeah, this is just efficiency runner, right? Like that's what the Asmari is all about.
Say the gang signs are a concern, so if we want to be careful about how much we draw.
So okay. I think we just let them pass here.
Yeah.
They're not on an APOC deck, do you think?
With 2 gang signs out.
All right, do we want to draw a card here?
Draw one, let's draw one.
Oh, that's nice.
So I think it's Surveyor on the remote and then Enigma on R&D.
I agree. Luckily, Ken gives us even more reason to always call event. Right?
What's that? Is that a misdirection?
Yes, that is a misdirection. Yes, Alex, okay. I did manage to get everything cleaned up. All right, I want to draw one here. Because we just need to be moving forward. I'm going to put this in the remote.
What did you draw?
SSL.
Yeah, put that in the remote, and maybe you put the gold farmer on Arcos just in case Turtle comes down or Sneak Door.
Yeah, I think that's wise. I mean, this is already a very dense remote here. Ooh, Fisk Investment Seminar. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm the screen sharing's frozen again, so I'm about 20 seconds behind you on watching the actual stream. What did Fisk give you? Okay, now I can see the Fisk.
Yeah, it's piping those zeros and ones under the Atlantic Ocean. It's hard. All right, what are we doing here?
So I think you don't mind giving up an agenda, right? It's SSL in the remote. I think that's in hand, right? Probably. But you only want one agenda in hand for the gang sign. So yeah, I think you advance that. And
I think we put the border control on there.
Got one border on there already, and they can't challenge that, I don't think. What's the other ice? So it's Surveyor slot border. One question here, which I often think about with the Azamari decks. I know that often we install advance, and then score out next turn, but I wonder about advancing the SSL 3 times. So that next turn you score it, and if they don't take the Bologna, it goes straight into the remote? Or something else goes straight into the remote?
Let's try it.
A new subscriber arrives.
Hey, thanks for the subscription, Marcy.
With determination.
Ooh, a DDoS. Exciting. Alright, let's res that sweet slot machine.
I don't know whether we switch off Discord and go to Skype or something, Dan, but the Discord screen sharing is just like freezing every... I get about a minute from you and then it just freezes up.
Just for now, spectate the game.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'll just tell you what's in my hand.
Yeah, okay.
It looks like we're gonna get, like, APOC'd.
I'd be amazed if it was an APOC with gang sign. It's more likely it's a way of them getting in, right? But I guess. For them if it is.
Ooh! Ding, ding, ding.
It's completed or something.
We got the full 3.
Variety.
Hey, you know, we're just gonna have 9. We're gonna just have 9 advancements on this SSL. Oh, we're gonna get APOC'd so bad. I could taste it.
That's why I want border on a central. Be weird. I can't see your game in JNet to spectate. Huh.
You might be just having some
The downside is
issues.
could be the downside of having. There's a good thing about having my 2 sons at home over the coronavirus shutdown, which is that I get to see them. The downside is that they're watching Netflix and doing everything else like that, so we have no bandwidth.
All right, so we're gonna res this and boot them. We ended up with 12 advancements on this SSL because we got 3 fires off of slot machine, 3 full fires off of slot machine.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna go ahead and snip that.
Can break it and then fire it. That's good.
All right, let's go ahead.
Yeah, if only that was a Beal.
Yeah, well, we can't have everything. But that makes our immediately put the Bologna in the remote plan. Oh, nope, they're going to get that one. But now they're completely broke. All right, so what do we want to do now? I think I want to put the new border control out. I want to put scarcity.
They're not got enough money.
Go ahead.
Yep. They've not got enough money to steal the Bologna. Well, I can. They got 5 credits on my screen.
Well, yeah, 5 is what you need to steal it.
But they've got to break the ice and get through, which they're not going to have. So.
Well, they got it on the gang sign.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, I'm not seeing that, but yeah, sure.
But the good news is, we're extremely wealthy now. I'm going to draw once. We have an echo chamber to put into the remote. So I'm just going to do that, and we're going to try to close. Start doing that thing that Asmari does in the late game where it says you have to check this card. Res that sweet toll booth. Get everything resed. Res border control. Res that big chonkin surveyor. They're going to hit this, and they're not going to be able to trash it because they're going to have $0. Here, I'm going to try decreasing the frame rate on the screen share and see if that helps you.
That's better. Let me see. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that now. Cool. That's how it rolls.
All right, let's find ourselves another game, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
It's good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, interesting times we live in.
That is certainly true. I feel like this is okay, right? What do you think? 2 pieces of ice and a daily quest?
So, yeah, screen freeze again. Let me just find the deck. So I'm going to watch that one. I can watch it on Jinteki. So tell me what you've got in hand.
Echo Chamber, quest completed, daily quest, IP block, IPO, and Gold Farmer.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I think got to think about where you want your ice.
Yeah, I think it could definitely be worse.
So you probably ice up centrals and take a credit, and the next turn you probably see if you draw ice, and then play the IPO if they play an event. Probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Gold Farmer, the hard, and the run on HQ.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the IP block on R&D, and then I'm gonna click for a single credit, and I'm gonna name event as always.
That's good.
Hey, morning, Jessica. Welcome. Always a pleasure to see you in here. 2 daily casts in before the scarcity. All right, so we did draw an agenda, but we also have an NGO front now.
I think see if you can draw one.
So we drew a Bologna, so now we have 2 agendas in hand.
Yeah, I think you...
I'm going to put out the NGO front and advance at once.
Draw ice with golden, right? Just got to find... And we've got enough in the deck. There's like 17 ice in this, so... Away 2 passports. That's interesting. On a deck with 3 passports.
So we got a toll booth, which I'm going to put on the remote.
Yeah.
I'm going to advance this NGO one more time, and then I'm going to put the daily quest in there.
Well, let's have a think about it. So,
Okay.
how much money do you have after you res that NGO?
12.
The question is, do you want to push an agenda at this stage? They've ditched 2 passports, so either they've got another passport in hand or they've got something like Gordian or whatever.
We could try to push it. We could put the SSL in there.
I think maybe you put the Bologna in because it's going to give you 5 if you score it, and it's going to cost them a fair amount to get through the booth. So why don't you try that? So can you pop it, install booth, install Bologna, play IPO? Does that work?
No. Because we're 1 click short. Because I had to advance the NGO a second time.
Of course, yeah. I'm just lagging on you a bit. That's all. But this is fine. So then you could advance IPO. I think if you res that, it takes you down to you can't score, right? If you res the booth.
I think I'm just going to let them through.
They got 8 credits. Okay.
Because we're spending a lot of money to just cost them 3 credits, you know?
Yeah, I guess. But if you want to put something else in there, you need to get rid of the boomerang. So I would probably res. Well, yeah, you've let them through, so okay. I think I would make them use the boomerang and cost them 3, because then they're on 0 credits after that.
All right. So I think the play here is put the gold farmer in place of the toll booth, overwriting it so that boomerang's dead.
No, I would put the gold farmer in front of it. So put the gold farmer in front of it, and because you still, that booth is still a good remote ice as soon as the boomerang's gone, and it's still going to cost them 3 to get in. So I think you put the gold farmer in front. And you definitely don't want to overwrite it.
Interesting. So walk me through that, because that's contrary to what I would normally think.
So it's still going to cost them 3 to get in it, even with the boomerang, right? And once the boomerang's gone, they've either got to then find another boomerang, or they've got to find their remote ice. Boomerang's a thing. I think you cut. It's taxing enough, and especially with the gold farmer in front of it, that's going to cost them at least 4 to get through. It's 7 for them to run the remote, even with the boomerang.
Makes sense. We have a scarcity. And we have an echo chamber, an SSL, and a scarcity right now. Do we draw first click here?
Yep, we want more ice.
So we got a surveyor.
Surveyor is good. So I think you're going to be setting up to play the SSL, get the SSL maybe next turn. HQ ice is gold farmer.
Correct.
So I think Surveyor on the remote, play Scarcity.
Yep. That's what we got because we drew once.
Next turn, I think you can go for the SSL probably. Fairy, that's a fairy, right? That they've got installed there.
Correct.
And the fairy is for Surveyor. It's like just the boost, which is 4. So it's 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 3. So they need 11 to get in and steal the remote. So maybe. Again. Waiting on your event naming, at least on the stream.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Another thing you could do, of course, since we've probably got to score the echo chamber, is you could just overwrite it with the echo chamber.
Yeah.
And make them, and then you push the SSR after that.
Man, there's a lot of people out here using Tycoon.
Cheap to install. It's basically your adjoint to Turtle, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's
only
great
there
if
to bring the
you
strength
don't
of-
care how much money the Corp has, which is interesting because I've always found it runs contrary to the criminal game plan, right?
Is this Sanjay's deck?
It
Deck
might
of the
be.
week?
So they have a 50-50 shot of getting another agenda here.
Oh.
Nope, but they do get rid of the echo chamber, which is fine. Hey, Project Nisei. Which member of Project Nisei is? Oh, it's Serenity. Hello. All right. So what are we doing? Are we trying to push?
So the cost for them to get into the remote is 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 3 is
12.
It's 12 for them to steal. So and then they're broke, right? What did you draw off the what
A
was the
hedge
mandatory
fund.
draw?
I think we can afford to try to push here because this agenda is certainly not safe in our hands.
No.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think we got to push because at least that's the way that costs them the most money to come get it. Right?
Drawing for money or something, right? So yeah, we're good on this. This is fine.
Yeah, getting on the board here is going to be pretty big. And we're going to get some more money here. You got to break. All right, so here let's just push out this SSL.
What did you draw?
A surveyor.
Okay, this is yeah. So we start to reach critical mass with ice as the longer the game
Yeah,
goes on.
this being a 2 surveyor server is going to be crushing.
Yeah, we need to be careful about losing off R&D because it's not so expensive for them to run right now. So I think can put the Echo. You could play Echo in the remote, hedge fund, and then Surveyor on R&D.
Okay. They're just feeding us so much economy by using Tycoon.
Yeah. And always want to access with 5 credits. With a 6 agenda suite, 3 of which cost 5 to steal, you never want to run without being able to have 5 credits to steal.
Yeah, it's like NAPD, but better. All right. So we have a border control and a surveyor as ice in our hand right now.
Yeah, so I think I would put border on R&D, Echo in the remote. Sorry, surveyor on R&D, Echo in the remote, and play the hedge fund.
Yeah, we have so much money. This deck is just super rich, right? It's the old Dan DiArgenio adage: take out all the fun cards and replace them with money.
The deck's also about scoring windows. You often don't mind giving up a Bologna if it means that you can score an SSL for the win next turn.
Sure.
And quite often deciding where you want the agendas to be that they can steal is important.
Yeah, and it's a deck that is highly unlikely to give you up on random R&D accesses, right? They're spending so much money to get these single accesses. All right. So here we can just echo chamber it out.
What was your draw?
Rashida.
Rashida. You can go, see what the mandatory draw is. Then Rashida in the remote, border on. Do we have a border control on the remote yet? We don't, do we?
We do not.
No.
It's worth noting, whenever I see one of these like program cycling criminal decks, I'm always reminded that like Fairy still exists and is basically like another inside job for big sentries. We're so rich.
Yeah. Have they actually played in the events yet? We named the event the whole time. Have they played in the events?
No, but...
Oh, they have. They play the hedge fund.
All right. So let's Rashida. They played a sure gamble, okay? We got one trigger.
Yeah.
Wow. So we got 2 pieces of ice and 2 events.
So you don't care about them if you don't. So yeah. So you got 2 ice.
Oh, did I lose you?
I'm still on. I just don't have the. I can't see your hand. So what's the HQ ice? What's your hand right now?
It's a surveyor, a border control, an IPO, and a hedge fund.
So maybe surveyor on R&D, hedge, IPO. Let's try that.
So much money.
Just need an agenda. So you got to, as soon as we draw the agenda, we find it. So
we'll get there.
As soon as we draw the agenda, it goes in the room.
Decks like this as Mario are going to make me start playing my fake points, my freedom through equalities again.
Through quality and notoriety are really good right now if with these decks around. Also falsified because you totally don't want to run the remote for an NGO. So if you've got falsified and you can make sure that your remote run is for an agenda and then play freedom through quality with that,
It's very
really
good.
helps.
All right, so I'm going to draw once.
Hmm?
I'm going to draw once more.
What did they give you?
So we have a preemptive, an echo chamber, which we're never going to use, and another hedge fund. And we still have a border control.
Sorry, Dan, I lost you there again. Say again, what have you got?
So we have a border control, a preemptive, an echo chamber, and a hedge fund.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you put one of those ice on HQ and then play the hedge fund. I mean, I think drawing last. You don't want to draw last click. I don't think.
They are letting us know that scarcity is holding them down, which means it's doing
I
its job.
saw that in chat. Yep.
Working as intended. All right, I'm going to draw once. I'm going to draw once more. I'm going to put a Rashida in the remote.
That's good.
Because we just need to find the last agenda. Yep, they just decided to pay through for the ASOP, which they probably should have done earlier. We just drew even more ice.
It does look like Sanjay's build, so
Uh,
he wasn't on Sweet Sneak Door, that's for sure.
I mean, our centrals are basically unbreakable right now. This is the one problem that can come up with having only 6 agendas is sometimes the agendas will not arrive when you're ready for them. Draw. We have 5 pieces of ice on the remote and 5 pieces of ice on R&D.
Yeah, well, they have no money. They're not going to be able to get in. So, you just got to find an agenda. I mean, they can't steal it off R&D to HQ either. So,
all right, come on. There we go. Install. Advance. There we go.
that gets them some money, but
Yeah, I mean they're not. It's not going to be enough money. They can't break toll booth.
we don't care about either. But yeah, you can res that. Fine. It's going to cost them. Actually, the Doof gives us even more money with the Tycoon. So the Doof gives us an extra 4 credits when they break border and break the Gatekeeper.
Yep, and I'm going to cancel the run so the boomerang is wasted. Just because it's good praxis. Oh, Russell, I forgot to tell you, can I share with you some very good health news?
Sure.
I've lost about 30 pounds.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter. That's great. Well done.
Yeah. Got a little ways left to go, but we're getting there.
One thing that's happening with this lockdown is that I'm doing a ton more baking at home that I wouldn't normally. I can only bake at the weekends. I do a lot of bread baking.
Mm-hmm.
Normally only bake at the weekends because the week I'm out of work. But now I'm at home, I can set up and bake in the morning. So the good news is that I can do more baking. The downside is
you can do
it's
more baking.
really, really hard to find flour. It's really hard to find flour right now. And secondly, a carbohydrate-based diet is not doing my waistline any favors.
Any favors, yeah. The big thing that I've been doing is I just haven't been snacking. And I haven't been having any sugary drinks, only really water and like tea. And then I'm just making sure I get 30 minutes of exercise every day.
We've been going for family walks once a day, which is good.
Yeah, we've been doing that on my lunch break. All right, let's do another one.
Can do one more, Dan. I've got to finish at 1. I've got other meetings this afternoon. But
yeah, that's fine.
One more is good.
We'll do one more.
Yeah.
How do we... Yeah, I mean, this is a decent opener, right? IPO, Gold Farmer, Scarcity, Surveyor, and Daily Quest.
Sorry, Dan, I didn't join the next game. Let me just join the next game. So Barrera has recently been playing APOC build, so we need to be aware of that. Right. So what's your hand again?
Gold Farmer, Surveyor, Scarcity, IPO, and Daily Quest.
So I think Gold Farmer on HQ. Any money in
perfect.
there, do you? So
we drew a hedge fund.
Okay, so hedge, Gold Farmer HQ, and don't tell them what it is, and then maybe.
Well, that's 3 clicks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, with the IPO as well. Yeah, sure.
Those pad taps,
Yeah, well, let's see what we get before we worry about trashing them just yet.
So we gotta ask another copy of Scarcity.
I think you put the Scarcity down. So maybe you put the Surveyor on R&D and hide it, and then credit Scarcity. They're probably on 3-core Grant, but
I mean, these are the games that we play, right? They have to draw them. Oh, it's the Anakin.
Right. So it's not an ACAP. It's almost certainly not an APOC build. What did you draw?
Surveyor.
I think it's so you've got Surveyor in hand, a Quest in hand, and something else.
A second copy of Scarcity.
Okay, I think let's draw first click.
We drew into a Bellona.
Okay, I think you got to start thinking about setting up the remote. So I would put Surveyor on the remote, and don't tell them what it is, and then just take a credit.
Fair enough.
Right, I was going to say pay to hide it, but sure, that's fine. Yeah, so that's the downside of it. They know what it is now, so. But sure.
Okay, so they put down the grant, but they didn't. Oh, they did follow it
Yeah.
with a single install.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? We're
What's
obviously
our draw? What's our draw?
IP
What's
block.
our draw? I think so. I would draw IP block on the remote and pay the tax.
We drew another IP block, so now we have 2 IP blocks.
So let's install twice here. So let's put an IP block on the remote and an IP block on HQ. Where's the other surveyor, by the way?
The surveyor is on R&D, and the other one's in the first position on server 1.
Okay, so the surveyor on RD doesn't do much for us now, but we can push the IP blocks are good for us.
Now there's 2 pad taps in place.
But we need to find more eyes to shore up archives. What's the draw?
Border control.
Okay, so I think border control and pay to hide it. The loaner in the remote on archives. The loaner in the remote and gain a credit.
We also still have a scarcity where we could clear that corporate
Oh,
grant.
we should, yeah, for sure, we should do that. Yeah.
So they know it's an agenda now.
I wonder if you purge here.
Well, we drew a slot machine.
Right. So I think I would
purge.
I think if you purge here, and then we can put the slot machine on R&D. Next turn, you can maybe put the slot machine on R&D and play the scarcity, and then we can think about pushing the below the turn after.
Yeah, so let's put slot machine on R&D. We'll pay, and then scarcity, gain a credit. We are having a time.
Yeah, they're rich. Be hard to tax them out. Yeah.
So do we advance it twice?
Yeah.
Boomerang went on the surveyor, so they can't break. They can't break the IP block. Which always feels nice. So we're going to score this out at least, which feels good. All right, I'm going to push to finish the Bologna. I'm going to say, should we say event here or should we say E? Yeah, I think event's always going to be
I would always say event versus criminal.
All right, Corroder is down. They overwrite the Amakua.
Mm-hmm.
They already used 2 falsified, so I kind of want to push the NGO here to see if we can beta run.
Yep.
If they have the 3rd one in hand, they have the 3rd one in hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, they know they can get in, right? So the question is, do they think we're bluffing or not? I don't think they'll burn a scarcity on it. I think they'll assume that's NGO, but
With these pad taps. Whew.
Yeah, 6 to trash them though. I mean, I think it's not. We could think about trashing them, but
Do we res here, the surveyor?
I would leave it. I think. I don't think we want to spend 5 credits right now.
Thanks, Marzi. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. All right, so what are we doing?
What's our hand right now? Losing track of some of this.
Enigma, slot machine, SSL, and 2 daily quests.
An Enigma there?
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably got to put the Enigma in the remote. And then put the daily quest in the remote, but don't res it. Yeah, that's okay. What else is? Sorry, it's really hard to keep track of everything in my head right now. The rest, I think you res the daily quest. You'll come and find it, right? And then you can res the surveyor so that they burn that. Then they've got to find their Begolta. And those not doing us any favors.
Chewing up some cash here on Hmm.
So you've got the classic 419 economic challenge here. You know, it's hard to, they can install something every turn to deny a credit. So Asmari helps a little bit.
I think we put another daily quest in that remote and then click for credits. I now have 2. I still have 2 daily quests in my hand.
I know what it is. So,
I kind of want them to take this SSL. You know?
Our 3 pad tats is really painful for us.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Yeah, we're in the vice right now, right?
I'm actually sure that it's necessarily worth them trashing the quest if they're going to get 3 off it. But sure. And money also isn't fantastic here, right?
They're probably going to come in. Yeah, they're going to come into HQ. Do we do that play again?
Or did he draw?
NGO front.
So the challenge is they're going to run the Amina to bleed us 1. It costs them 2, 5. It costs them 5 to get in, right?
And then functionally 1 to trash.
Draw once. If you gain a credit and then res it, then they can't you can't lose any to corporate grant or otherwise.
We're in trouble, I think.
It's still got, this is all about scoring windows. So.
Right, so they're going to go get Bugalter. All right, I'm going to install this engine.
The SSL, what did you draw?
We now have 2 SSLs in hand, an IPO, an NGO.
Yeah, put the SSL in the remote and gain credit, I guess. Yeah. Lose one off. Trouble is the SSL is going to gain them as many credits as it gains us.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem.
I'm going to need to find their other rogue, right? That's a thing. One thing for them to think about is a Bologna, right? So you can advance that, and that's going to cost them 2, 5. So they can't steal that if it's a Bologna. Maybe you block, but then you can't score it the next turn either. So, what did you draw?
Preemptive. I also still have an NGO front in hand.
Got an NGO in hand?
Yeah.
I would install advance that. But you don't want to fire it because then they'll do there's a thing for them. So.
Yeah, I'm going to force them to run it at least.
So now you do it to deny them the pad tap credits on the next turn. So now you take it since they've given you the money, right? So they've got their pad tap credits for this turn.
Yep. We got to start chewing up some of this money. All right, so we drew an echo chamber. We have an echo chamber, a preemptive, an IPO, a slot machine, and an SSL in hand with an SSL in the remote.
I don't know, maybe you put echo chamber, override the SSL and put echo chamber in there and take a couple of credits. I don't think you can score that anytime soon, but it forces them to come check it. I don't know, it's a difficult one.
Yeah. We're in a bad way. I kind of want to just click for 3 credits here.
That's okay too. I mean, you're going to lose one on corporate grant, but yeah. And now they've got rogue trading as well, so they've got all the money that they want.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be very difficult for us to score here, in a general sense. that criminal money. It's hard to mess with, you know? All right, so we drew into a Bologna.
Honestly, Dan, I don't know. At this stage, the game is probably lost. I mean, you can take some risks. You can advance the SSL, and then gain a credit probably, or something, right?
Yeah, I mean,
They're going to run it.
we're living our worst lives out here, Russell.
Absolutely an issue for us, right? That's just so much money for them.
Yeah, I mean, the Anacam with the rogue trading and the Citadel, once they have the economic superiority, it's very difficult. I am going to concede here. We are pretty much locked. Very well played.
Always happy to acknowledge good play on our opponent's parts.
Yeah, I mean, that was classic criminal play. They set up the Vice and put us in there, and we're all taxing ICE aside, we're a very honest corp deck. So once they've got their whole engine set up with breakers, it's very tough.
I mean, you can. It depends on what you can stick early, right? Boomerang really helps criminal because if you can get a daily quest running early, right, that they can't get through, and then you just build up the ice and build up the ice and build up the ice. But yeah, it's very hard to move from under this kind of economic superiority.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me, and Russell. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to come hang out.
Welcome.
And until we see all of you beautiful Netrunner humans again, always be running. Bye.